Hey everyone, welcome back to Desert Gardening with Dustin. Today we are going to show you, I got this hydroponic tower and I figured I would grow some lettuces and various greens and various other things in the house with this tower because it gets pretty hot in the desert here, and some of your cooler season stuff will not survive well this time of year outside. It'll just want to go to seed immediately. And so growing some things in the house where it's cooler means you can go ahead and grow some things year round. So this I did get on Amazon. I think it was about $140, $150 or so. And I believe this one is called DP Roots Hydroponic Tower. This is, I think, the bigger one. It's got 9 levels. There's 5 spots, or 5 little like cell spots to put your seeds in, these little seed sponges. And anyhow, so you can grow 45 total things in this one. And so it did come with some instructions that told you to soak your seeds for a day or two first, and I didn't do it that way because I wanted each level to have a different kind of seeds, and I felt like putting them in a wet tray like that, I would lose track of what was what. So it's, I guess, one of those challenging things. Everything comes up at a different rate too. You know, some seeds come up faster than others. I know on this 3rd level from the bottom, I do have some lettuce seeds there, so you can see this stuff here. There was quite a few lettuce, and a couple rows up I have another variety of lettuce. I've also got, I don't remember that one right there. I don't remember what that is, but it's popping up. I have it written down what's what on each level. But there are some seeds coming up in, in different levels here. But then there's the occasions where I think, let's see here, like this one, I probably have, let me see if I can shine a flashlight in there. Yeah, it's not very good, but there were times when I figured out that I didn't have some of the seeds pushed down in there quite enough. There might be a good example on the bottom here. There's a seed down there. I should probably push it down in there a little bit more, because as the water comes from the top of the tower, it kind of sprays down and will kind of, let's see, let me see if I can take one of these out. You can see some water down there. You can see this sponge, it's more wet on the bottom. So the further toward the bottom you get the seeds, the more likely they are to stay a bit wetter. The other thing I found with this tower, and I will put a torpedo level on here, it is very easy to not realize that you are not perfectly level. So you may have to mess with it a little bit, because if it's leaning one way and you don't realize it, you're probably going to get more water on one side versus the other. Now, I had this pretty level, but I did rotate this 90 degrees earlier today because I had some of my lettuces that were popping up on the backside that weren't getting as much light coming through the sliding glass door here. I need to move some other plants. I have a lot of house plants and stuff too, so there is competition for some of the sunlight, and probably what I want is probably a lot of this stuff in the hydroponic tower, I want to get more of the light. So with that being said, I also tried to strategize what I put where, and I put some of the bigger stuff on the bottom. Now it hasn't come up yet. I think the bottom one is kale, and kale can get kind of bushy and everything. But I figured if what you've got growing here, if it wants to spill over the edge a bit, that's fine. You just want to make sure you're putting things in the in the right spots, and anyhow, and some of that even for me is going to be a learning experience, figuring out what I want to put where, and what works well at what levels, and if certain plants outcompete others for light, and I need to change what I put where. This will be kind of a learning experience on that side. But anyhow, there is a little pump inside of here, and this deal plugs in, and it's got a switch for controlling the water flow and everything. There is some A and B plant food solution that you mix up, and you put that in here. That is basically a water tank that holds the water, and the little aquarium pump looking deal runs like a tube all the way up to the top of the column, and then it kind of sprays it out on all the sides, and so then it kind of will allow a bit of water, because I don't know if you can see in there, there is a little shelf there to catch water as it runs down the inside of the column. The other thing that I found is that sometimes it's good to have a little cup of water, because like feeling this one, that's kind of dry on top. I mean, there is water in the bottom, but sometimes it's good to just top a little extra water off on some of them that are drier. Like this one, definitely a bit dry. And then that one, you can see that one's fairly wet, and we got a seed popping up here. But it is a little bit of a challenge with that, because I think it can be extremely hard to keep this guy perfectly level. So, and that maybe that's a problem. Maybe it's not really. I look at it right now and think if I just rotate it around a little bit and turn it 90 degrees periodically and let even light get to everything, it's probably going to take care of itself. And as long as I just make sure that I got some water hitting some of these other sponges that get a little bit dry, then it should be in a lot better shape in the long run. Now, I will have to determine if in the long run I have challenges growing certain things in here, then I may alter what I grow in here. Right now, it looks like my lettuces are doing well. Oh, I didn't tell you, this stuff is 8 days in right now. I planted seeds 8 days ago. So that is what we're looking at. I guess I don't know exactly at what point this is going on my channel. I got a couple other videos to post, but at the point of filming this is 8 days since I planted seeds. Now, some of the first 2 or 3 days was a little bit of a challenge figuring out how to get everything running well and making sure everything is fairly equally wet down. And so the next time I do things, maybe I get things to look like this by day 6. I don't know for sure. But anyhow, but I'm waiting to see what happens with some of these seeds. Now, obviously, it looks like you can see a little bit of color. That's probably from the A and B solution, because I know this solution is kind of a yellowish orange, and then this other one's kind of a yellowish color. That's got a lot of your micronutrients and stuff like that. Just I think a small amount for your for all the plants and stuff like that. But I mean, some of these guys are looking pretty good so far, but they're obviously still pretty small. But that is, I guess that's the kind of the details at the moment. I guess if you notice, I have some other 6-packs of some other things down here, some peppers and spinach and also some Roma tomatoes. So this is I guess where we're at so far with the tower. I'm sure I'll do some more updates on this tower and we'll get a feel for if it's really worth it. I've seen some small little countertop ones that don't really grow a whole heck of a lot, and a lot of those are 60, 70, 80 bucks, and I felt like this was a lot better bang for the buck if it produces and works well like it says it should. But so far it seems to be doing well, and we'll have to see what happens with some more of the seeds. I may switch some other seeds out if I don't have any luck here shortly, but I got various things coming up, so I guess we'll film another update video for you guys sometime here in the near future. Thanks for listening, and if you have any comments, you can put it in the comments section.